Orbits in the universe. When we look at the sky with the naked eye, we think that there is an inactive universe. The gigantic activities in the universe only began to be noticed with the discovery of the telescope. For a very long time in history, people thought that the Earth revolved around the Sun and the Earth revolved around it. Then, starting with Kepler, Galileo, humans discovered that the Sun was stationary in the middle, while the Earth revolved around the Sun. This discovery, considered a revolution in science, was very important. However, it had not yet been discovered that the Sun moves in its own orbit. Later, thanks to the development of advanced telescopes and the science of astronomy, it was understood that the Sun also moves and that the Earth revolves around a moving Sun. Together with its planets around the Sun, it is moving towards the star of Beak along an orbit called solar at a speed of more than 720 kilometers per hour. This invention, which science could only discover in our century, was explained in the Qur'an 14 centuries ago. And the Sun runs, on course, toward its stopping point. That is the determination of the exalted in might, the knowing. Yasin 38. It is not allowable for the Sun to reach the Moon, nor does the night overtake the day, but each, in an orbit, is swimming. Yasin 40. As you can see, the Qur'an informs us that the Sun and other stars moved exactly 14 centuries ago, and proves that it is Allah's book with these news. The Qur'an draws attention to another scientific discovery about the movement of the Sun with a different verse. Lord of the heavens and the earth, and that between them, and Lord of the sunrises. As Safat 5. It is understood from the expression Lord of the Easts in this verse that the Sun has more than one rising place, which draws attention to the fact that the East, which we know as the place where the Sun rises, should actually be evaluated as more than one East. Yes, the Sun rises every morning and sets every evening. But all these risings and sinkings take place at a different point in the universe each time. In other words, the stars and planets floating in the celestial sea do not cross the paths they passed, and they flow in their orbits. Because the Earth is round, the Sun rises in one place and sets in another at the same time. Day and night chase the night. So it's not the place where the Sun rises, it's the places. Morning hours are different for each point of the Earth. Every place is waiting for the sunrise in seconds. We watch the Sun rise from different parts of space. The Sun is the same Sun, the world is the same world, but their place in space is different. Now let's ask some questions about these two miracles of the Qur'an that we have described. 1. The fact of the movement of the Sun and the stars, foretold by the Qur'an 14 centuries ago, has been confirmed by scientists. Doesn't it prove that the Qur'an, which includes a scientific fact, is the word of Allah, who created the heavens, determined paths in it, and guides the Sun and stars along those paths? 2. Is it possible for an illiterate person to discover a truth that was rejected by many scientists who lived until this century and could only be discovered with giant telescopes in this century of science and technology? 3. Why should Prophet Muhammad make these claims and cast doubt on his own truthfulness by opposing the people of that century when there was no such issue on the agenda of the people at a time when almost all the information about the sky was superstitious and wrong? All these questions can only be explained by the fact that the Qur'an is the book of Allah. If it is accepted that the Qur'an is a human word, hundreds of unanswerable questions arise. No scientific news in the Qur'an can be explained. The only answer that can convince the heart and mind to all these questions is this: the Qur'an is God's address to people. The Prophet Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. We believed and we obeyed.